Okay, all right. Could not get the could not get the computer to do what I wanted, so that's terrible. But yeah, no great intro, no nothing. Now it looks like crap. So I apologize in advance uh, for this whole thing. I really feel awful. I wanted this to be much much better, but thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I'll give my quick thoughts and whatnot. Shout out to Jazzy Jeff. Shout out to Mikey for their $10 donations in the super chat. I really appreciate that. Again, I apologize profusely. This is really unprofessional of me, and I definitely want to be more professional. I'll get all of the streaming stuff and everything up as soon as I possibly can. Um, Curtis Roberts, rise up, snitches. Good to see you in the chat, man. Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. Please share this out to your friends and family all over. Go live tomorrow. Yeah, probably gonna go live tomorrow because I'm gonna probably do a film breakdown tomorrow of Brianna says it's okay. I appreciate that, Brianna. Thank you. Um, yeah, Seth is right. We finally got Quad Squad. How about that, man? Finally got some Quad Squad in our lives. Which honestly, man, like, is it not past due? It's like totally. Can I like do this a little bit better? Is it? No, definitely not that way. This way. There we go. That's a bit better. This much better. Um, Finally got some Quad Squad. Even though he fumbled, we did pick it back up, but he did have a touchdown as well. Falconator HD, thank you so much for joining in. Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. Um, man, the total package, and I think the way that not only did we delegate the communication from the coaches, from the head coach, who honestly, I was talking on Aaron Freeman's podcast, and I said, the sign of a really good coach is to delegate your message to guys who then, when you delegate that message, they can speak it, they can translate it to your players, and then that message can come across clear and easy. And honestly, I think Dan Quinn, and a lot of people that have been upset about Dan Quinn or said that maybe he's holding the team back, or maybe he's not done enough for the team as a whole. I think those people are part of that microwave society that wants everything to be done now. And they're also the people that have taken it out of, their own time of day and whatnot to say that apparently the Atlanta Falcons, they've had plenty of time, 5 years worth of time. Why hasn't the message gone across? Why is it taking this long to develop Vic Beasley? Why is it taking this long to develop Takk? Why is it taking this long for us to go to a Super Bowl? Why is it taking this long to do da 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 boom boom boom? And I don't have all the answers, but I can say this: it takes time, no matter what you do in life, marriage, relationships, work, maturity as a person, to find your likes and dislikes as a person. It takes a lot of time to develop those things. And this is no different. As professionals, they have to do the same. So it took half a year for Dan Quinn and company to figure out what the problem was, how to address it, who the right people were to put in there. And that's a sign of a good coach. That's a sign of a really good coach in Dan Quinn to go, my message that I was trying to preach was not coming across the right way. I'm delegating it to people that I trust, that I know that can get the message to the defensive backs, the corners and the safeties, to the linebackers and the defensive line. And Jeff Ulbrich and Raheem Morris have done just that. And honestly, I think a lot of people in here were very quick to judge Dan Quinn and company, including myself. And I'm glad that we as a group, as well as Falcons fans as a whole, have finally kind of come back to that same slogan that this channel stands for, which is staying grounded, staying level-headed. And we can finally come back here to, this point in the season after 2 wins now against division rivals, against two teams that are above us in the rankings and in the standings in our own division, and say we've beaten two teams. Were they quality? I'm not sure. I'm not going to get into that debate. Did we do everything that was effective? No, but what I can say is this: that communication was delegated correctly. We saw an improvement in players that we were incredibly upset with over the entire year. Vic Beasley, Takk McKinley, Devondre Campbell, and the offensive line. We've seen this team develop better chemistry, better concentration, better coordination, and honestly, they're better for it. That's the sign of a good head coach to go, my message not getting across, and we've done the right thing here. Offensively, like I was talking about on the stream before we went off and came back on here, this is a very one-dimensional offense, and I would not expect and I would not ask anybody to try to promote and expect a 2016 offense or a 2017 or 2018 offense. It's just not going to happen, boys and girls. Dirk Koetter is just not that creative. He's just not. And I'm not going to say that he's not a good coordinator, because he is a very good passing coordinator. But that's the point, though. That's where you put your finger on it and go, but what about the running game, though? Literally, this team and its running style has been everything opposite of Dirk Koetter. Dirk Koetter even said he took a hands-off approach in the Saints game and allowed the other guys on this roster who run the offensive line, runs the tight ends, to run most of the game and allow them to do what they need to do. That ultimately says a lot to me, that Dirk Koetter is a one half of an offensive coordinator and is not the long-term option here in Atlanta. And maybe Matt Ryan needs to wake up and smell the coffee. Maybe Julio Jones needs to demand more of this offense. But honestly, we knew the Panthers were susceptible to the pass, and we knew the Saints were susceptible to the run, and we did those two things. And to me, Dirk Koetter, first half of the year, was I'm going to do my system my way, and it ended up biting him in the butt more times than not. And on the flip side, over the last 2 games now, we've seen that this team has been more reactionary week to week, game to game, depending on the opponent and their weaknesses. We knew Carolina's defensive backs were no good. We went after their defensive backs and we beat them up. In the New Orleans game, we knew the defensive backs were good, but their defensive line wasn't good enough to stop the run. Their linebackers are not very good. So we went after that. We went after those particular moments and scenarios. And so you can tell that the offense is reactionary, dependent on who we play and how we play them. And on the flip side, the defense has been all goes. The blitzing is now coming from the corners, the safeties, the linebackers, the edges, and the interior. You're seeing coverage duties now being done very well and delegated very well between guys like Vic Beasley. Defensive tackles are taking over the middle of the field while linebackers are flying in and getting sacks. We're seeing a lot better zone from our linebackers. Devondre Campbell played a little bit of zone and got an interception on an errant ball. So you can tell that the message has been set, the precedent has been set for the defensive players, and it's working. It's actually working. Now, I know a lot of people will come in here with a microwave society view, and they will go, well, Dan, this should have been something that they figured out a while ago. And to that I say, it's not as simple as you would want it to be. So I think Raheem Morris. I think Raheem Morris has done a great job with the corners. I think he's done a great job with the DBs. In fact, actually, one of the biggest factors, and I just said it on the podcast just a little while ago with Aaron Freeman, was one of the biggest factors that this defense has turned around is Ricardo Allen playing strong safety. And they said it in an interview today that it has impacted the way that the linebackers communicate and the way that the defensive backs communicate and the way that the linebackers communicate with the defensive line and what they're supposed to be doing. Ricardo Allen moving from backside of the field back there in no man's land to being literally up against the line or near the linebackers has really delegated a lot of that communication, and it's worked. It's worked very well. So that's something that actually may save Ricardo Allen from being a cap casualty this coming year if he continues to play half free safety, half strong safety, and is the communication guy for everything. I think putting DeMonte Casey at free safety is a great addition, a great hard hitter, and a great coverage dude. He had an interception, errant throw, picked it right off. I think Isaiah Oliver, everybody was down and out. They wanted Isaiah Oliver out of here a little while ago, and now Isaiah Oliver over the last 2 games has been a hell of a corner, a great corner. You can see the success that he's able to produce. Desmond Trufant is a great complement to what he does on one side of the field, on the other. And even with Keanu Neal out, Ricardo Allen has come in, made hits, made plays. I love what they're doing, and I'm feeling really good about the Atlanta Falcons in 2020. It's really funny because Falconator HD just said, I'm feeling good about the NFL 2020 draft for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the Falcons going into 2020. I think a strong outing by Oliver for the last couple of games, a strong outing by the players as a whole for the next couple of games to end the season could be huge, could be a monumental momentum for them to go, yeah, we got it. We figured it out. We know what we need to do. And if we can keep our coaches in there, Jeff Ulbrich and Raheem Morris, maybe, give them a specialty position as co-coordinators, which is something that I would like to see the league transition more to, which is co-coordinating. One guy that takes on first and second downs and another guy that takes on 2-minute drills and third downs. It's working. It is 100% working. Let's see if it keeps going. It's only 2 weeks. Dan Quinn just said it in the press conference. It's only 2 weeks. But honestly, what do you guys think of this defense? It's much improved. I think this defense is improved so much because of the communication factor. Dan Quinn handing information down to Ulbrich and Morris. Morris handing that information down to the team captains in Allen and Dion. And then those guys handing that information down to the players. It's done so much better. Isaiah Oliver said it today. A few days ago, right after the game. A day ago after the game. He goes, that communication is something that really, really pushed us to a new level and honestly sold a lot of players, Jay says that he is not sold on Campbell, though, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to upset a lot of people. I think Vic Beasley I think Vic Beasley might potentially get signed. I think Vic Beasley might get signed as an Atlanta Falcon this offseason. I think people are going to look at him. They're going to go, he's a specialty player. He's an outside linebacker. He's a coverage guy. He had some great coverages yesterday. He had a sack yesterday. So I think Vic Beasley as a specialty player can be retained. I don't think he's going to, acquire 12, 13, 14, 15 million dollars. I think that Vic Beasley wants to be here. I think people that were saying that he doesn't have the dog have really gotten real quiet lately because Vic Beasley had a silently really good game. Another guy that really had a great game was Jacob Tatui-Mariner, a guy that maybe you don't know about, but 91. He played a few snaps yesterday and a few snaps in the game against the Saints and caused pressure on the outside. So I think there's definitely room for guys like Hooper and Vic to be our offseason signings. Hooper, Vic, Davison probably to be our offseason signings. And guys like Campbell probably walks. And then we go into the draft, get a linebacker, get a defensive tackle, get an edge rusher, get a guard and a center, and call it a day, call it a draft. I think that's solid. I think that's perfect for us and what we need currently. I said it on the podcast just a little while ago with Aaron Freeman. I said that I think that the unrealistic expectations of the team as a whole, but more or less the fan base as a whole, is that, why are we even winning games? Why are we still competing? Why are we still playing hard? Because these players aren't thinking about tanking. These players aren't thinking about shelling out and going home for the holidays. These players have a job to do, and they want to win. And they know that even though there's only a 0.1% chance of going to the playoffs, they're willing to fight tooth and nail to go there and get it. And that's exciting. That's actually more exciting than being in a top 10 pick right now. That's actually more exciting to me to potentially go 9-7, have a winning season, and go, look at the turnaround. Look at this turnaround from this team. That actually kind of gives me butterflies. That makes me really excited. So, yeah, I know a lot of you will probably go, yeah, I really wish we had gotten that pick. I wish we really been able to get that, that top 5, top 10 pick. But I'm actually cheering for these Falcons to win games because I'm seeing guys like Tatui Mariner. I'm seeing guys like Oliver. I'm seeing guys like Foye Olakun and Jermaine Grace. I'm seeing guys like Sheffield coming out and playing tough physical football. I'm seeing guys like Vic and Takk prove us wrong for 2 weeks now that they can pass rush, that they can cover, that they can work. I'm seeing guys like Brian Hill, who I wasn't high on, and guys like Quadri Ollison, which, by the way, could everybody please in the chat hit me up with hashtag Quad Squad? Can I please get some Quad Squad in the chat right now? Because seeing Quadri Ollison on the, excuse my language, on the goddamn field, scoring a touchdown and running hard, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. Woo! That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see, dude. Quad Squad. Damn it. That's what's up. Brian Hill, thank you for coming in and carrying the load. Quad Squad, though. If you can clean up the fumbles, get a full offseason to work with this team, Quad Squad for the future, bro. And I think that, and I know this is subjective. I know this may be different. I know this maybe is not a popular opinion, but the Detroit Lions did call us for Devontae Freeman during the trade deadline. They called us last draft, inquiring about him. And I think there will be teams that will be interested in Devontae Freeman's services for a 4th or 5th round pick. And I think that maybe there's an opportunity for this team to probably look to trade Freeman. I think we've proven that going into the 4th round and getting running backs, that it's lucrative, that you can find Freemans, that you can find Brian Hills, that you can find Tevin Coleman's, that you can find Ito Smith types, that you can go out there and go get a Quadri Ollison and still run effectively. So I don't know how many people in here like that idea, and I don't know how many people believe in that rumor, but I wouldn't be surprised if we visited it. I wouldn't be surprised if we visited that avenue. And I told you guys, and I told Mad Mike, go check him out, Mad Mike Sports. But I told y'all, Freeman is good for at least one really bad nick up and a potential season-ending injury, and right on cue. Freeman gets nicked up. You can blame the offensive line if you want to, but the aggressive running style that Devontae Freeman plays with got him hurt. It got him hurt again, and he might be better off with not in red and black. He might be better off somewhere else, even though I don't hate the player, and I honestly approve of everything that he's done for this team. But like I said, there is evidence to prove to the contrary that we do not need a lead back in Atlanta, that we can hand the ball off to Brian Hill and Quadri Ollison and run effectively. We can hand the ball off to Ito Smith and run effectively. We can hand the ball off to Kenjon Barner, which, by the way, congratulations to Kenjon Barner on his punt return, 78 yards for a touchdown. Really, we've missed that in special teams, scoring on special teams, kick returns, punt returns. We have really missed that opportunity for the last couple of years now. And we finally got one of those off, and it feels refreshing. It feels good, you know. Um, say the Saints finished with 11-5, and we finished with 9-7 with a 6-0 in the division. It still goes by overall, correct? Yes. Yeah, Cody Paul with how about their strumming the guitar on them clowns yesterday? Yeah, I agree. I agree. Jay says that I absolutely agree. For the issues and the price, he'd be better off somewhere else. Yep, yeah. Undisputed queso, burn out, burn out, queso, chips. What's going on, my man? Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. I'm such a mark for the Undisputed Era. I'm terrible. Wrestling always hits me. Undisputed Era for the win, though. But yeah, the offensive line needs probably one more piece, a left guard that's going to be here for the left guard for the future, a center for the future. And outside of that, we've got the weapons. Jaden Graham showed up yesterday and caught a ball and looked like an Austin Hooper. And I was like, there's Jaden Graham. What I told you, just give him an opportunity and he'll catch the ball. He could score for you. Russell Gage, Justin Hardy, running out there catching balls. Quadriolis and Brian Hill. We don't need big names. I know that Julio had a big day, that Calvin had a big day. But look, we took Sanu out of the game plan. We traded him off, and we're still doing well. We're still moving the chains. We're looking in other directions. We're making smart passes. We're checking down the ball. And this is what you needed. Control clock. No penalties. Less turnovers. Looking great. How about McGarry? Okay, McGarry got beat up by the Carolina Panthers offensive line. But I'm going to tell you this. A trooper who's really learning on the fly, Caleb McGarry. If you ever watch any of my film breakdowns, if somebody ever somehow gets that information to you or leads you to my channel or we follow each other on Twitter or whatever, you are learning on the fly and you're kicking butt. And honestly, man, I know this is probably really tough for you. You said it during camp. Every day you're sucking a little bit less. Your game against the Saints was fantastic. Your game against the Panthers, I saw the spin moves, the speed rush. It was tough for you to handle, but you were a trooper and you went out there and you played hard. And I can't wait until your battle buddy in Chris Lindstrom comes back and is able to play with you at right guard, and we can move Jamon Brown over to left guard and maybe solidify some more of this. But you are working so hard, and congrats, man. Congrats on working your ass off and really doing it. Man. Dang, dude. Dang. But Caleb, seriously, man, congrats. Just serious stuff. Anyway, yeah. So, and how about Takk on Twitter? Let's talk about this for just a second because I know we're going a little long, but it's been about 20 minutes. I don't want you guys to be like, this is too long. But how about Takk McKinley on Twitter going from, and I know this stemmed from last week, but how about Takk McKinley's profile going from, I got to get this right, a defensive end who sometimes gets sacks to a defensive end who got a sack. And then him going on a Twitter rant, which I thought was so funny. Him going, why that man follow me, dude, with his fat ass? Why did he follow me for no reason, man? Like, what's up with that, dude? And I was just like, what are you doing, man? And then he trolled me today. First he puts a sad emoji on, and I don't know what that was about. And then he puts a happy emoji, so he must have gone in for the surgery or for a evaluation, and then came out and everything was okay. So I hope he's doing well, and I hope everything is fine. sometimes it's frustrating, Tack, and I know that you're a younger player. I'm 20. I'm 28, going on 29 in this January. You're much younger than I am, but I know it's difficult in this time with social media, where it's tough because you can talk to your teammates, you can talk to your friends, you can talk to what family you have, but at the end of the day, social media has become a part of our lives, and honestly, man, um, I feel you with whatever anxieties and depression you have, and I feel you on uh, the fan base has been so toxic lately, and honestly, man, like just keep doing you, man. Keep it up. Keep that positive attitude. You were celebrating with your teammates over the last two games or so, and I'm so glad that you stepped up, man. You stepped up to the plate and you hit it out of the park, and you've been working your ass off. So seriously, man, if you listen to this or anybody sends you this video and timestamps it for you, really, man, you've really kicked ass and took names, and your teammates have been working really hard around you. And I'm so happy that you're here in Atlanta, and I'm happy that you were able to get a sack this past game, and you've really worked on your craft. And I want you to keep working on it because you're just gonna get better. You're just gonna keep getting better. But y'all celebrating on the sidelines and really being tough with each other, but also keeping that brotherhood, that continuity. It's just been great, and I hope that you and Vic continue to get to play together for longer in your career. I hope that Vic gets to come back. But you guys have done great. You guys have done awesome. Dan, dad right now. Definitely not a dad yet. Definitely not a dad. But we're getting hungrier and we're getting out there. Alan Bailey getting into it. Claiborne was getting into it. But honestly, dude, it's been great. Hashtag Dad Dan, great. Now I've got that on my resume now. Now I'm Dad Dan. That's great. That's perfect. So Ryan looked good. Um, the run game looked good. Offensive line needs still a little bit of work, but those boys are working their ass off. Um, and look, man, the defense is just on fire right now. They're just kicking ass and taking names. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this team, and I hope it continues to go. But where do we go from here? The real question is, where do we go from here? And to be honest with you, man, I don't have all the answers. I don't. And I'm not going to pretend like I do. But watching this and just having fun watching it, and being able to do film breakdowns, this ride has been great, and I can't wait to keep putting out more content for you guys and continue working hard. And I want to see more of what the Falcons can do with this team, man. With this team, I want to see where this team continues to go. I want to see how they continue to build this team. I want to see if we keep our coaches. I want to see if we keep certain players. So I'm really excited. Jun Yoon, good to see you, my man. We had the most people on IR. We just need to get healthy and stay healthy. I feel you, man. I feel you. We're going to stay on for just a few more minutes, and if anybody has any questions whatsoever, hit me up. I'm going to go live on Twitch from PlayStation. Dirty Dog, good to see you, my man. Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. And Yoon, good to see you, my man. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, and then also I'll go on PlayStation. We're going to play some Dark Souls tonight, which will be great. Lindstrom update. I was told by the press conference, I listened to the press conference, he is not ready yet, but they're going to evaluate him again and see if he's ready to go. I think it's really funny that I didn't get a pick in 22 years. Jesus Christ. I think it's really funny that we're looking at this team and we're getting to a point where as we turn it around, suddenly everybody's going back under the rock, Everybody's going back under that rock. Playing for playoff spoilers, and I love it. Yeah, man. Let's just keep winning, dude. Let's just keep running. But what I was told was that not McGarry, but Benkert and Lindstrom play a lot of Fortnite together, and they've been streaming. And he's answered questions on there and said, I'm ready to go, but I'm not medically cleared by the team. Death Stranding is kind of similar. That's interesting. I might go check that out. I'm still playing Neo and Dark Souls, so we'll play that tonight. But I find it funny that Lindstrom has already said, yeah, I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to do it. Like, I'm ready to be out there with the boys. But I'm not medically cleared to go yet. So they'll try to bring me in with the last couple of games, and I don't know how long that is. I don't know what the last couple of games might entail. Do you think we keep Allen, KZ, Neal in our safety pool next season? I think there's definitely a chance. Bangley, if you're online when I go to get on PlayStation, let me know. What time is it? 7:40. Wow, it's gotten late quick. I'm sure glad my Seahawks didn't get the Falcons team that's been what it's been these last 2 weeks. Yeah, right, Sam Dog. Sam Dog, thanks for coming in, man. I really appreciate you being here. Rise up, stay grounded. I hope you're doing well. It started there. But yeah, I think Lindstrom will be ready to go at some point. But I don't know when they're going to actually clear him. I mean, they might save him for the last couple of games just not to risk injury because they want him back healthy, which would mean he would probably come back. He'll probably come back with the last couple of games. What's your PlayStation gamer tag? The gamer tag, I believe, is the Goatbeard 91. I think that's with a capital G and a capital B. But yeah, you can go over there and check that out. If you guys want to start up a party and talk, you're more than welcome to come on by. I promise I will entertain. Oh yeah, affecting groups. That's cool. I might check that out. Can we start Quadri for the lead back against the Bucks? I think Quadri will be in the mix next year for potential lead back if we move Freeman, unless we, I don't know, draft DeAndre Swift or Travis Etienne. We don't have any needs. We did everything we needed in free agency. We're fine. We'll just roll with the next team. With the same team that we did this in 2020. But then we'll just add I don't know, Travis Etienne or DeAndre Swift in our running pool. What would really be funny if we added what's his name from Alabama? I cannot remember his name. He's so tall. I cannot remember that man's name. But it would be cool if we added another running back this year and maybe got rid of Ito Smith. I don't want to lose Ito Smith. I like Ito Smith as a running back, honestly. Sips T. I like the move, Dan. What do we do with KZ, Allen, and Neal next season? I think KZ is probably going to be our free safety next season. I think that Allen will probably be the starting strong safety, and Neal will probably get an opportunity up until the trade deadline to try to be healthy, and then we might trade him by the trade deadline. But I don't want to do anything to where Neal gets hurt again. He's injury prone, and I hate that because I really like him a lot. I really like him as a person, and I also like him as a player. So I would hate to lose that. That would be terrible. Allison and Hill should split carries this week. Who are we playing this week? The Bucks? Yeah, that would be cool. Vita Vea, though, moves the line really well. But the Saints did abuse them, and we beat the Saints, and the Saints didn't score a touchdown on us. So I'd like to see the trend continue. And I don't know what Bangley said, whether or not he was still going to be on PlayStation or not. But we'll see. But yeah, was that all the questions? Any other questions that anybody wants to ask before I get off and kind of chill for the rest of the night? KZ is strong starting free safety and Allen is starting strong safety. That would be cool. That'd be neat. I'm down. I don't have any problem with that. What general scheme changes has Tampa made since DK left? Um, well, I need to go watch film because I'm not familiar with what they're doing now. Now is a little bit different, but it seems like they're throwing the ball a lot. They're trying to hit wide receivers in stride. They're not utilizing their tight ends as much, which is the reason why OJ Howard, Cameron Brate, and there was an injury with OJ Howard, but they're just not utilizing those tight ends a lot. So I'll have to check snaps and I'll have to check tape so that I'm accurate with you, but I haven't really seen the actual carries and the splits and what's going on there. So sorry, Dirty Dog, I don't have a good answer for you there because I like to be transparent with what I do know and what I don't. What do you think of Vic's turnaround? I don't think there's ever been a Vic turnaround. I just think that we haven't been utilizing him properly since 2016. So, he had that big 2016 year because we were utilizing him properly, and we got away with that. Yeah, Dirty Dog, no problem, man. Yeah, thank you. No, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for following. I think from 2016 all the way to 2018, we utilized this guy the wrong way. He needs to be utilized in a linebacker role that pass rushes. That a guy that he can put his hand in the dirt if we want him to, or can be utilized in a stunt, or can be covered up by multiple heavy defensive linemen, and then we have him jet up the middle and get a sack, or someone that spies quarterbacks or goes in the coverage. I think Vic has done well this year in those instances, even though we've lost some games. To Biggs, what's going on, man? Rise up, stay grounded. I hope you're doing well, dude. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I think that you brought Vic back for a reason, and his representation is still there in Atlanta trying to get something done. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he just turns around and re-signs with the team again. Mossets, what's going on? What's going on, dude? How's it going, man? Mosets, I hope you're doing well, man. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. I hope you're doing well. Rise up, stay grounded. But yeah, so we could be undefeated in the division and miss the playoffs. That's on us. I mean, that's on us at the beginning of the year. The Colts loss. Man, the Seattle loss. We had opportunity there. Just there's been some close games where we've lost a couple of things, man. Damn it, man. I missed your show. I'm gonna have to catch it on replay. Yeah, man. Just come on in. Just a guy. What's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. I hope you're doing well. I think we re-signed Vic for a cap-friendly deal. I think we re-signed Vic. I think we re-signed Davison. I think we re-signed Hooper. And then you guys are going to be really weirded out by this, but I think that and this is just my opinion, this is subjective. I don't know what we're really going to do, but I don't think we re-sign Campbell. I think we bring in a veteran middle linebacker and we switch Deion Jones to the full-time will linebacker, and we keep this kind of 34-43 hybrid look where we're putting 4 rushers, but then we're rushing 5 and 6 and 7 sometimes. So, yeah, sometimes we'll come out in the 34 look and you'll be like, that's clearly a 34 or a bear, But then we, drop one of those guys into coverage and we rush a bunch of linebackers at him. I think there's a place for that, and I think that the Falcons have that in their repertoire, and I think they might use it. So, can Jaden Graham get more opportunities in the red zone? Yeah, I want it more. I definitely want it more. I think we might have found our sweet spot with the defense, but wish we still had a shot at the top three pick. Man, it's not about who you draft; it's about how you draft, right? To Biggs. So, if you're a really good drafting team, which the Falcons are, for all intents and purposes, I mean, if you look over the whole tenure between Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff, the picks have been pretty solid. If you draft well, doesn't matter if you're at 1 or you're at 32. So the Falcons have drafted well, and it's just been system delegating that information, communicating well, and putting guys in places to succeed, and they finally did it. So that being said, though, rise up, stay grounded. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties that happened earlier. I want to give a big shout out to Jazzy Jeff and Mikey, who both put down $10 donations in the super chat, which, by the way, if the chat wouldn't mind going on a tangent for just a moment and just hit me with the woos, man. Just hit them with the Ric Flair woos. Tell Jazzy Jeff and Mikey that you appreciate them coming in here and supporting the channel and being part of this Falcons family here at Unintentional Grounding. And I'm going to hit them with a big woo, too. Woo! Woo! Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you being here. Did I see the Mario Addison comments? On Matt Ryan. Who are you talking about? I've never heard of her. Mario Addison? I've never. Is she like a fashion designer or something? Like she's like, does she do like cakes or ice cream or something? Does she like write for an article or something? I don't know. Okay, guess that's just my 2 cents on whatever that is. I don't know what that is. Anyway, but yeah, I think the joke went over your head, Falconator. Never heard of her. That's what I'm trying to say. Never heard of her. Never heard of Mario Addison. Never heard of her. Anyway, rise up, stay grounded. Hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed night. I honestly, genuinely mean that. I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed night, and I will talk to you again real soon. It's your boy, Lieutenant Dan, here from Unintentional Grounding Live. Rise up, stay grounded, keep that energy. And hey, man, don't forget to drink some water tonight. Don't forget to drink a little bit of water, because I know you guys are probably still celebrating from the win on Sunday. Rise up and stay grounded. Peace and hair grease.